Hi everyone, I'm Chris, the dancing clown, and I love movies. I don't love all movies though. In fact, a lot of movies are kinda shit. Speaking of movies that are kinda shit, how about that James Gunn's DCU? After only 2 movies, this whole shared universe is falling on its face already, and I honestly don't think that it's going to survive for much longer. For how bad and unstable the Snyderverse was, at least it managed to keep going for a decade. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about James Gunn presents James Gunn's DCU by James Gunn. A lot of people have pointed out a lot of flaws about this crappy universe, but I haven't really seen them cover what I'm gonna talk about, so here we fucking go. Superman 2025. The biggest flaw of that movie and of the entire universe, one that a lot of people gloss over, is right there in the opening text. 3 centuries ago, the first superpowered beings, known as metahumans, appeared on Earth, ushering in a new era of gods and monsters. 3 centuries ago. So 1725. Excuse me, what? Now, if you don't think that this is absolutely fucking retarded, you don't know history, or maybe you just never thought about that sentence beyond, oh that's cool, that's a bit different. However, fear not, I shall not only give you a history lesson, I'll also explain how none of this shit makes any goddamn sense.
Let's get it on!
1725 was a long damn time ago, and things were very different back then. It was a time before the Industrial Revolution, before factories, before mass production of anything, before trains, before the steam engine, before the battery, before we've discovered what germs and diseases are, before the creation of the periodic table of elements, before gasoline, before anything that made the modern world. Back then, people had jobs like blacksmith and weaver and cooper. What the fuck is a cooper? Well, it's a person who makes wooden barrels by hand because that was the main way shit was transported back then, in barrels. So this job was in high fucking demand. Most people were farmers, you had no large-scale economies, most societies were agrarian and very isolated. Pirates of the Caribbean is set in 1728, so imagine a less over-the-top, more depressing version of that setting, and then suddenly you get shapeshifters, flying motherfuckers, dudes who can punch through a brick wall, not to mention aliens, demons, dimensional imps, and all kinds of other crazy shit. It would turn the world upside down, history would look completely different, the world in 2025 would look nothing like our world. Seriously, imagine all this crap started showing up in the early 1700s. There would be religions made where the metahumans are gods. The existing religions would have to adjust and would probably start treating them at least as angels or something. Nations would start recruiting them for warfare. The Brits would definitely have super people on their team, the Ottomans too. That would make for some different outcomes in the wars that happened over the last 300 years. Maybe a bunch of them would join forces, create their own army, start conquering everything and establish their own nation, who knows? And what about science? That would definitely not be what it is today. Take welding for example. Why would you invent welding when you can hire the local dude who can shoot lasers out of his butthole? Superpowers would allow humanity to do a lot of things they couldn't do, and because of that, a lot of scientific breakthroughs would never happen. But you watch the movie and it's our world with more or less the same history as ours, the same technology as ours, and the same architecture as ours. That Creature Commandos show made it canon that there were Nazis and World War II happened in 1939 like in our world, so apparently all this super shit didn't matter at all. Nothing is different, except sometimes a dimensional imp shows up. The fucking dimensional imp. I'm not letting this go, I'm going all in on this thing. So we see Superman arrive at his flat, all depressed because he's getting roasted on social media, and then, suddenly, behind him... What the fuck is that? Where the fuck did it come from? This looks like Satan's testicle crawled out of the depths of hell to peel the skin off of our bodies and devour our flesh. And then they start talking about the annoying CGI dog. Hello, Lovecraftian abomination outside your window.
Oh no, that's just some dimensional imp.
Oh, is that what that is? Well, that's weight off my back. I was worried there for a moment. What do you mean? The way he goes about it, it's like they're a common occurrence and more of an annoyance than a threat. Yeah, it's just a dimensional imp. We had 4 of them last week. This one is only level 3. I can barely get any EXP for it. It won't even drop any decent loot. I know that in the movie this is played for laughs, but seriously, what the fuck? When the hell did these fuckers start showing up on Earth? I'm just imagining like the Battle of Lexington and Concord in 1775, Americans going up against the Brits, battle starts, bullets are flying everywhere, and then the sky opens up, Dimensional Imp shows up and starts firing lasers at the soldiers. That would change history a bit, wouldn't it? What if this thing shows up in Bulgaria? Do they have somebody there who can fight it off, or does it just murder everyone? And what if Superman and his buddies are somewhere else fighting Manchester Black or whoever the fuck? Can the army stop this? If these things could just show up at any time, the cities would look like in Neon Genesis Evangelion, where you push a button and all the buildings hide underground. Something would be different about the world and about how we live. This whole thing is so underwritten. It's like a first draft of a script that's a placeholder for the real thing that will come later after 47 rewrites. And don't get me fucking started on Peacemaker Season 2. They decided to introduce the multiverse so everyone was excited for all the crazy shit that was about to unfold. And then it's just America but the Nazis won. How fucking original! This idea hasn't been done 3,000 times in the past, and it's not even well made. America looks normal, just the flags are different and the laws are different. Nazis had a fetish for brutalist architecture, so America after 80 years of German occupation would look completely different aesthetic-wise. We don't get any of that because this is James Gunn presents James Gunn's James Gunn, brought to you by James Gunn. We can't have good writing in this crap. And don't tell me that I'm overthinking this shit. This is the kind of brainstorming you do when you make a shared universe. This is just bad writing. Have you seen that Superman Red Sun movie from 2020? This is how you create a world with an alternate history. Everything is different, including Suka Bliatman.
Batman used it to bind me psychically and physically. And not even you have the power to—
Shut up.
But that story was written by Mark Millar, and he gives a shit about the DC universe, unlike James Gunn.
What is Superman's middle name?
Justin. W. Does Clark Kent have a middle name? I'm embarrassed that I don't know. He does?
He does?
What is
What's
it?
his middle name? I was so close.
Joseph.
The good thing about this universe is that it's already dead, and when the Superman sequel inevitably flops, it will get officially shut down by Paramount. At least we will get a semi-realistic Batman universe, and I don't even like the Batman that much, but it's much better than the garbage that James Gunn gave us.
Those soft-bellied pricks, they run this whole fucking city. Why the hell not us?
I think this video is long enough already, so I'll stop right here. I think I've made my point. You might disagree with me, but you are—